As I record this, we are only 4 days from Halloween, and that got me thinking, what are some scary games that you can play on the Nintendo Switch? I want to know what you guys think. What are your favorite scary games for the Nintendo Switch? I'll talk about some games that are on the Nintendo Switch that I've played not on the Switch, but I have played some scary games that I would like to see on the Nintendo Switch. And then I will also talk about, um, well, I'll talk about this right here. We've got Night Trap on the Nintendo Switch. Not really a scary game. It's really a B movie. Not like the Jerry Seinfeld B movie, but like a low budget, uh, low budget horror film that you get to interact with. And I picked this up from the post office yesterday, and it came with all of this really cool stuff. It came with obviously the Switch game, which is actually in my Switch right now. I did a first look video of it, and you can check that out over at youtube.com/runjumpstomp. It came with a steel case for it, which looks really cool. I don't think I've ever had something that came in a steel case before, and I didn't really understand what the hype was about. I think that this looks so cool. I love the way that it looks. But it comes with that. I love the art on the back, the way that they wrote Night Trap. It also came with a VHS tape, which is just bananas. I guess it's this 48-minute. They took the footage, or some of the footage, because some of it just doesn't make sense outside of the context of the game. They took, I'm trying to get the glare off of it. They took the footage and kind of stitched it together into a motion picture that you can watch on video cassette. I haven't opened it, and I probably won't because I don't have a VHS player to put it in. I don't even have a DVD player. We have a PS4 downstairs, and that's our Blu-ray player. We really don't watch stuff on physical media anymore. But I just thought it was really cool. And then I forgot how huge these were. It also came with, I'm trying to get rid of the glare, with a Sega CD jewel case. Man, these things were massive. Do you guys remember how huge these things were? This is just absolutely ridiculous how large it is. And it actually has room inside for the cartridge. You can take this out, and it's got all kinds of information about the game, which is pretty cool. I played I don't know, like 15 minutes or so of the game for my... Oh, look at that. I didn't even realize it. When I opened it up, the insert popped out, and it's an actual a CD case, which is hilarious, because maybe they just actually went out and bought old Sega CD games, or cases, I mean, to do this. I'm not sure. Like, this one actually came a little dirty. I don't know if you can see it or not. But for the most part, I'm really happy with picking this up. And I kind of agonized about whether or not I was going to open it, because I could just spend an extra $15 and get the digital version so that I could try it out. But I decided that leaving all that stuff in the box was like a crime almost. So the box is sitting up there on my shelf next to my Sega Genesis, and I'm going to put most of this stuff back in the box. But I wanted to take it out and just look at it and pop the game in and try it out. And I want to talk a little bit about my experience with Night Trap. I haven't played very much yet. And if you watch the first look, I'll kind of talk about that there as well. But it was really funny and campy, and I found myself chuckling more than once. And it's definitely the kind of game where if you enjoy really bad movies, because you like to laugh at them, like the kind of movies that would be on MST3K. Like, I remember when I was in the Army, we used to get together and watch Mystery Science Theater, and it was just so much fun watching that show. And even my wife and I, last summer, I think we would sit down and watch some of the new one. This seems like the kind of movie that would be on Mystery Science Theater 3000. And, you know, Howard Lincoln said Night Trap will never appear on a Nintendo console. And here it is on the Nintendo Switch. Probably Nintendo's, if it keeps going the way it is, probably Nintendo's most successful console that they'll ever have. Or to date anyway. And it's got Night Trap on it. And, you know, that kind of got me thinking, what are the horror games, since we're coming up on Halloween, what are the horror games that are on the Nintendo Switch? So I did a little Googling because I don't often play horror games. And so most of the time I just kind of ignore them. So I did a little bit of Googling, and I found that here's a couple of horror games that I've heard are very, very good, or that I've played. Layers of Fear. I haven't played it on the Nintendo Switch. I played that on my PC. I thought it was okay. I didn't finish it. I got pretty far in it, and for the most part, it didn't scare me. It was creepy. It was definitely creepy, but there were very few moments where I got scared. It was more just as I played, I felt a little unsettled. Again, I didn't finish it, so maybe I missed out on some stuff. But it's definitely well made, and if you want to feel that overwhelming creepiness, then Layers of Fear is really cool. It's got some really some neat moments in it too. The next one that is listed here is Outlast. I've heard that is one of the most terrifying games ever made. I've not played it. I've also been told it's really, really gross. So that's the reason I've avoided it myself. I tend to like games that are scary but not gross. And games that are scary but not gross are few and far between, and it's hard to find games like that. For obvious reasons. But I've heard Outlast is very, very good. Sorry, I just coughed like really, really loud, so I'm gonna make a marker in the podcast. Let's see, Resident Evil Revelations. It came out last year. There's 2 of them. If you buy the first one physically, it comes with a digital code for the second one, but I don't know that you actually save any money that way. If you would prefer to buy it digitally, I guess they're pretty big file sizes, so keep that in mind. And we'll talk again about big file sizes in a little bit. But those are some of the bigger horror games on the Nintendo Switch, and they're about to be eclipsed by, well, maybe not about to, but next year these games may be eclipsed by a series of games that Capcom is going to be bringing to the Nintendo Switch. If you've been following Capcom at all, then you know that they make the Resident Evil games, and they tweeted, let me see, when was this? This was yesterday at 8 in the morning. They tweeted, Capcom is bringing multiple fan favorites to Nintendo Switch. Resident Evil, Resident Evil 0, and Resident Evil 4 will each be launching on Nintendo Switch in 2019. We'll have more info soon. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are very excited for that. Immediately, a lot of people were like, oh my God, Resident Evil 4. Now, I played a Resident Evil game, just one of them. I don't remember which one it was, but I thought it was really cool and very scary, and I had a lot of fun with it. I think it was on my Dreamcast, and I don't know which one it was, but something tells me it was Resident Evil 4, and I really am looking forward to playing that. Tay Munston in chat says, which Resident Evil is the best? I don't do zombies. I don't know because I haven't played them. I did hear that Resident Evil 7 was incredibly gross, and so I ran the other way when that came out. So my question to you is, what is your favorite horror game. Is it on the Nintendo Switch, and do you want to get it on the Nintendo Switch? For me, my favorite scary game is Alien Isolation. I played that on the PC. I bought it on the PS4 as well, and if it came to the Switch, I would buy it again because I want to support that developer. But that game scared the hell out of me. I had an incredible time playing it, and that's my answer to that question. I would love to know what your answer is. What's your favorite scary game? Is it on the Switch? And if not, would you buy it if it came to the Switch? Let me know.